Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live show. My husband's in. Hopefully, a few more people will get in here today or watch us on the replay. How's everybody been doing? Oh, saw another person. How's everybody? We uh, we've been hot here. Some of y'all may know. Hey, there's Kendra. Um, as some of you may know, our main AC went out. Um, I guess it's been out a week. Am I right on that, honey? Almost a week. It's just the unit itself is about 12 years old. So we, uh, 12, 15 years, well, maybe more than that, at least 10 years old. We'll put it that way. And so we kind of went through back and forth whether we were going to try to get a technician out here to get it fixed or if we were going to replace it. And we'd about decided we couldn't afford to replace it. Air conditioners are so much more expensive, especially that unit was a 25,000 BTU unit, so it's a huge unit. And it cooled down my kitchen, living room, and dining room. So we didn't know what we were going to do. So we worked out a deal with my parents. They're going to, or they've already ordered a new unit for us. Hopefully, we'll have it in sometime this week. And then we were just going to work towards paying them back because it wasn't cheap. How are you doing, Kendra? Go let your brother know I'm live. At least I can get some family in here, maybe. Okay, it shows I got 4 people, so y'all say hi and let me know who's in here. There you go. Mike and Rochelle, how are you guys doing? Did y'all get any rain this last week when it was raining? We got about an inch and a half of rain. How you doing, Mike? Yeah, it's warm here too. I am I'm over summer, man. It started too early. It started getting up in the hundreds in May, and it's like I'm just over it. Man, I hope you get some soon. It's crazy Texas this year. Just the lack of rain has been ridiculous. Yeah, I believe that. Like I said, we got some good rain the other evening. Excuse me, it about an inch and a half. Um, and that's really enough to kind of make the grass grow and uh, cool. It cooled us down for a few days, which you know, as well as you know, Mike, when it's in the 90s during this time of year, that's a cool down. So before I forget, I know my husband is watching. Could you go get that bowl out of the refrigerator for me, Keith? I wanted to show y'all what my darling chickens have been doing for me. And I haven't gathered eggs today. So I know 2 of them were laying today because they out there for 30 minutes doing the chicken song. And then my rooster likes to announce it. He'll sit right under my window over here and just because their coop is on the other side of this wall. Um, and he'll just sit out there and holler, let me know that the girls have left me a present. Oh, I have been busy. I've been crocheting, trying to come up with some new patterns. I am trying to build up stock for a craft show that I am doing. This is, I know, like they didn't just hear what you said. This is what, the last 3 days maybe. For 3 chickens, they're doing pretty good. They're still fairly small, but they're getting bigger. They're starting to get bigger. Hey, Jacob. How are you, sweet darling? Look at the amount of eggs I got now, and I still got to go get them. I was letting them sit out on the counter because I hadn't washed them, but because it's so hot in my kitchen, and these eggs are fertilized, I went ahead and put them in the refrigerator. Probably going to make up some breakfast burritos here later on. We have been eating a lot of pop it in the microwave meals because it has just been too stinking hot to cook. So to this week's video, I am going to be doing a no bake oatmeal cookie, and I'm really kind of looking forward to that. I love the ingredients that are in it, and it's not half bad for you. So I'm going to be working on that, getting a video out. I'm sorry I didn't get a video out last week. We were too busy trying to figure out what we were going to do about the AC. My son, Jacob, John Shepherd, he come over this week, and he can testify to how hot. And it wasn't a hot day that day. I mean, it was in the mid 90s. We had sat out on the porch for a while, and I was cleaning out cabinets and uh, just trying to do what we can before it got really hot. Pardon me so much. So what's everybody else been up to? And I'd love to know, because I've seen several of our friends that have been dealing with AC issues. So I'm just curious, is there anybody else out there that just have been dealing with a horrible AC? I was going to show you if I can get it to do it, the AC that we're getting. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. I've been also looking up oh, there it is. All right, hold on. Oh, it's not that one either. I lied. Hold on. Yeah, this is it. 25,000 BTU. All right, let's see if I can do this right. Maybe. All right. I'm going to give you the link too. We didn't feel like it was a bad unit, and it had good reviews, so this is the link. And then I should be able to pull this up like maybe I don't know how to do it. So, oh well. I put the link in there anyway. That's the AC we're getting. I need to play with that and try to figure out how to do that. I haven't ever shared a link like that. But anyway, we that's what we've been working on is trying just stays cool. My husband stays in the bedroom and I stay in the office, and that's pretty much how we've been doing it. Hey, Danny G, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us today on today's live stream. This is just kind of a catch up. It's been crazy, crazy week, and I've been sitting in here crocheting like crazy. This is my one of the new head scarves that I've put together. I got a few other things that I've been working on that I just need to get some pictures made of to get them up on the site. As always, I've put the Etsy link up top. And then, yeah, we really try to um, keep them put up, especially when it's warm. Now, if I had the AC going, because I don't wash them, I'd have them sitting out on the cabinet. But this way I can guarantee that they stay good and don't overheat. So I'm curious if how the temperatures are in your area. Are y'all like Texas that's just ridiculously hot and in a drought situation? We didn't get enough rain because we didn't have a spring, but we really haven't gotten enough rain since spring during the summer. We have been dealing with grass fires. You may have seen the PK fire on the national news. That's not that far from me. I would say we're 30 miles maybe. Hey, Patty, how are you doing, hon? Oh my gosh, I can't believe, imagine what it's like for you guys up there that are dealing with this kind of heat. Um, those are the ones that I really feel for. I mean, yes, it's hotter this year in Texas than normal, but people in the Northwest and North, they're not used to dealing with these kind of heat waves. Because a lot of, Patty, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of you guys don't even have AC units, right? Um, because they're really kind of unnecessary. It just never really gets that hot except this year. So I am really working on different ways of trying to stay cool. I mean, I talked last time we were live. I talked about us putting foil on the. Yeah, the fires are crazy. Um, like I said, the Possum Kingdom fire, the PK fire. There has been a lot of little fires just around us, and everything is so dry. It's really scary because we're so flat. We don't have, especially where I'm at. I mean, we're not flat, flat, but we don't have a ton of trees. We don't have a ton of breaks. There is a lot of, yeah, a lot of people don't have um, ACs and stuff. It, we just don't have like windbreaks or anything because around here there is a lot of grass grown for hay. That nearly all of our fields anymore are hay fields. Um, Now you go a little farther west of us, and it's cotton. We used to grow a lot of cotton in our area. Um, we don't so much anymore, which is sad to me. Um, because as a crocheter, I use a lot of cotton yarn. Now this is scrubby yarn, but it's still cotton. I use a lot of cotton yarn. I prefer cotton yarn, though I do use some acrylic. But they're already talking yarn shortages. Yes, Patty, the insulation boards, and we're working on that. Like on this window over here, I have around the air conditioner, I do have an insulation board, and we're going to put one in the living room when we get the new AC in there. So I agree that putting the foil back here, it was a quick, easy fix and didn't cost a lot of money because I had already had plenty of foil. And um, if you foil your windows, you need to put the shiny side out so it reflects the heat back out. I've done that in a many a houses through my life, trailer houses especially, but even this house, it's an 80-year-old house. And the insulation, if there ever was insulation, is very thin in the walls. We've talked about maybe going back at some point and putting some foam insulation into it, but I don't know at this point if it's really worth it. There are other repairs that probably need to come first, but all of it takes money. And, you know, the day and time we're in and the price of supplies is insane. But that's what I was talking about, the yarn shortage. When I go into, which we don't have any of the big craft stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, close to it. It's over an hour any direction we want to go to get to one of those stores. And so locally, all we have is in Graham, we have a Walmart. Their selection of yarn has been horrifically horrible. So I'm also trying to find places I can buy yarn online. Yeah, we've got a lot of pecan trees around us. There are trees on this side of the house. There's one back here, and then our front yard has like six pecan trees. And then there's, like I said, there's a pecan tree right here. So we have trees. Oh, and then on that side of the house, there's a row of pecan trees over there. My granddad was really not fickle. That's not the word I'm looking. Precise on what he planted. If it didn't produce something, he didn't plant it. You didn't have things that wasted water just because they were pretty. Besides the blue bonnets, he did love blue bonnets, and he planted them all through the yard. Um, and we just get a few of them now. Probably we could go out there and resow some blue bonnets, and hopefully next year that they would come back. But we have a ton of pecan trees, and they produce a ton of pecans every year. So we're gonna be working on some stuff that we can do with pecans this year as well. Um, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Danny, is to do stuff like that. Is there pecan one? It's my favorite nut. I will eat a pecan over any other nut out there. I just really, and I think it's because I grew up on them, right? But I like making candy with pecans. I like roasting pecans and putting different spices on them. So we're going to be doing some of that stuff too. I've got a big craft fair. It's the Fort Days at Fort Belknap. And I'm setting up a craft booth where I'm going to sell crochet stuff, but we're going to also sell pecans. We're going to, try to do all those kind of things. And just try to bring in some money on the homestead. Right now, the only animals we have are chickens. It's probably the only ones I'm going to be getting for a while, to be completely honest with you. Right now, it being so dry, the cost of keeping goats or something like that would be horrific because there's not enough brush or stuff for them to graze on. Hazelnuts are good too. Um, I guess a close competition for me would be macadamia nuts. Love macadamia nuts as well. But if I can find something to put a pecan in, a cookie, a like this dessert that I'm going to be making this week, it's going to have pecans in it because I have them readily available to me. And when you don't have to buy something, you know, why not use it? So that's the plan. I would like to get some fruit trees put up. My dad's got a pear tree over there. I'd love to plant a peach tree, and because I make a peach habanero jelly to die for. It is at my absolute favorite. I do want to make a peach habit or a peach jalapeno jelly. I saw a recipe for that. I haven't made it yet, but again, it's gonna have to cool down in that kitchen before we make anything that requires cooking or spending any amount of time in that kitchen because it is just too hot to even breathe. I want to ask y'all a question, and I'm going to probably put a poll up on my community tab. Really, Patty, isn't that strange how certain things will affect you a certain way? But one of the things that I really would love to know now, let's just say money's not an issue because I know everything's kind of tight right now. And you went on Etsy looking for crocheted products. What would be some of the things that you might be interested in? Yeah, listen to her. I'll show this one. Hold on. My daughter. They would. My husband and my daughter would argue with me. It doesn't need pecans. Yeah, it does. Kendra, I saw a tablet cover too the other day, but book covers would be some. I'll look for some patterns, or you can look for some patterns for me when you have time. I want to give a shout out to my kids. Um, yeah, y'all hush. Um, my son Jacob, John Shepherd, you see in the chat. My daughter Kendra, my son Waylon are some of the most hard working kids I've ever seen in my life. And I can't tell you how incredibly proud I am of them. Just doing all they can to survive in this crazy world we're living in. Um, I know my son, he got his hours slashed to ridiculously. I mean, they got him working 1 day a week. And everybody over there is kind of doing a hiring freeze because of the economy. But he's still out there working his butt off trying to make it. My oldest son, Waylon, um, is works out in the oil field, and he got a severe case of heat exhaustion. Last was it last week, Jacob? If you're still in here, so sorry, guys. Somebody forgot to turn their phone off. Let me silence this real quick. And no comment from the peanut gallery there, Kendra. And wait for her to say, yeah, you forgot to turn your phone off, didn't you, Mom? Okay, Patty, that would be awesome. Any ideas like that? Because really, all I can do is guess what. I did find a pattern that I'm going to sit down and probably make later today. It's for a backpack or a book bag. and it's just real simple, real lightweight, and I thought that would be really cute to do. I so I'm a huge fan of Yellowstone and all the Yellowstone, you know, um, shows that have come out. Well, I've been itching for some Yellowstone, so I've been setting and streaming all the seasons of Yellowstone up to date, waiting for them to release season 5, and just sit and crochet. And that's what I've been doing, just to stay cool. I do love cotton too, Patty. It's um, like all this stuff is made. My coasters are all made out of cotton. I'm going to be making like some face scrubbies too. I saw that that's kind of a reusable face scrubbies. I think we're starting to move more into a more sustainable lifestyle. People, I think, are realizing we don't need to be so dang wasteful. And if you pull out the little wet ones out of a bag to do a face wash or whatever, and you throw it away, and then that ends up in a landfill somewhere. I'll be honest with you, Patty. It is a great story. A great story. The language in it's pretty rough, but I worked in a prison for a lot of years. So I mean it doesn't affect me. Like my dad was looking really forward to watching it, but he couldn't get past the language. And I respect that, to each their own. But it's a good story. And the the guy who has wrote this series of these bought the Four Sixes Ranch in Guthrie, which is I think 45 minutes from here. It's not far. I keep saying that my husband and I are going to drive out there. There's a It's one of the bigger ranches in Texas. I mean, it's not as big as the King Ranch. The King Ranch is the size of Rhode Island, to give you a perspective. And they have but there's a lot of good sized ranches in our area. The Wagner Ranch, north of us, then the Four Sixes Ranch, and then a lot of little ranches, a lot of cattle. But if the language don't bother you, you'd probably enjoy the series. It's good stuff. I mean, and then they've got one, uh, 1836 or whatever, that's got um, Faith and Tim McGraw in it. Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, really good too. And they're coming out with the Four Sixes series. So, but anyway, so I've been sitting and streaming that, and that, for me, it's something to get my mind off everything else going on in the world right now. And it's just, there is, Patty, not locally. That would be something I'd have to go up to Wichita Falls and get, which we may make a trip up there this next month. And after we get paid and see what all I can find up there. I know I can order stuff online too. And that's probably what I'm going to start doing 95% of the time, because we're just not getting out. We're not, the less we can get out in the public, the better off we are. Um, I guess you all have heard, there's a new variant going around that the vaccine's not doing any good for. And, I, for me, I'm I'm a homebody anyway, and we don't have the. You can get it on Peacock, Patty, right now. Kendra, you design all you want to, sweetheart, because I'm gonna try to do all of it. I Anything I can do to bring money into the house is what we're trying to do. Trying to get caught up on stuff, get bills paid off. Um, I would love in the next year and a half to be 100% debt free. So if we can pull that off, that's what we're working to. Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, it can, Danny. Um, you definitely, and in fact, I've been working on one. Let me show you. This is one that will have a button. If you can see it, it's a little hard to see this dark color. I've also made this one, you can see a little bit better. These all will have buttons on them. And then I've been making some stuff falling off around here. Where'd it go? Oh, I don't know what I did with them. But yes, I am making cozies. Yes, I these things to me are incredibly cute, and I've got some cute buttons. This is just a green one I did. I've got other colors. I just don't. They may be over here on my cabinet, but yes, absolutely. I am going to be doing. I don't know if I've put them up on the store yet. Let me see. No, I don't have them up on the store. I'll be working on that this week, and I will have them up. If you don't mind, if you haven't yet, be sure and go. Oh, I hit on the wrong thing. Hold on. I was on the YouTube side of it, and it was laggy and messy. Um, I've I've pinned my Etsy store up top. Please go follow it. That way you will know when I put out new products. I'm also going to start some comfrey salve. I don't know, probably not the first batch I do, I'll put out on market because I want to see how it turns out and how hard is to do. And I know I mean, you can buy comfrey salve from the Stivers and different people too. A couple of channels, Kendra, you're a moderator, right? Well, you may not be able to do it because you're probably on your phone at work, aren't you? Honey, it might be easier for me to do it. I want to share a couple of channels with you guys, or Etsy shops real quick. Of Let me shout these folks out. I'm grabbing links, guys. Give me a second. This, yeah, it's fine, honey. All right, this is the Big Bear Homestead Etsy store. Please go follow it. And then this one is, hold on, get back over here. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Well, shoot. Let's see if I can. The thing I don't like about Etsy is that I can't put. Um, Maybe this is. Hold on. Yep, this is it. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. This is my friend Dee. She has a channel. She hasn't put anything out on it in a while. This is her Etsy store. So Natural D at Naturally NC. Be sure and go check those folks out. Um, they're both really good friends of mine. And okay, Patty, sure thing. Hold on, I gotta go to the other deal. Yeah, I don't mind at all. There you go, my friend. But yes, go check out Big Bear Homestead's Etsy store and Naturally NC's Etsy store. And then Teresa at Stringfield Ridge is going to have one come out as well. I don't know if she's got it set up yet. She's also going to be selling salves and that kind of stuff. And the cool thing about Etsy is that there's room for all of us, even if you're selling the exact same thing, because it's a worldwide market. So if you have things like that you sell, you make, consider doing an Etsy store. You know, for me personally, I've had much better luck selling on Etsy than I ever did on Facebook Marketplace because people want garage sale prices on the marketplace. And crochet items, there's an expense to that. There's a time for that. I mean, even let's say a coaster set. This little coaster set would probably take me 20 minutes maybe to do, an hour. So I mean there's still time that goes into this and the cost of yarn. So, remember that when you see crafts like this and you think, um, wow, I just can't afford to, you know, or I'm not going to pay that much. I can go to Walmart and pay $4 for a we call them toboggans, beanie, hat. Well, yes, but it was made by a machine and was mass produced. When I make one or someone else that knits or crochets, we sit there for a while and work on that. So you've got to appreciate the homemade quality, and it's not made in China. So I think anything like that you can buy from local vendors or people who sell locally, even on Etsy in the U.S., I think you're doing our country a favor by doing stuff like that. Take one more drink. I have been d- dealing with something. I don't know. I think it's allergies. I think because it's been so dry and sandy that it's just bothering my throat and that kind of stuff. But I'm just really excited. For not just for myself but my friends, and thank y'all for y'all suggestions. If y'all watch this on the replay, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a poll on my main page here in a little while, but y'all have given me, yes, Danny, I hear you there. They are time consuming, and that's the only reason I've made blankets as gifts, and um, they are just so time consuming. And and I may make up a few, and then just, you know what I mean, sell what I can. Ponchos are great too. I've got some patterns for ponchos. So, but you just got to do what you can. I think anybody who has any kind of skill like that, whether it's making jelly, whether it's crochet, knitting, sewing, sell your stuff and get it out there, because I think there's going to become a time that people who have those skills are the ones that are going to be able to survive, whether it's sewing, whether it's crochet. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me know, because I really I want to put stuff out that I know people would want, and so that's stuff that is really important to me. When I sell locally, I can be able to sell jelly and that kind of stuff, and I'll be doing that again. I'm technically not supposed to sell on Etsy because the way our laws are in Texas, as far as food products, you can't sell them outside the state. Now, I can take them to a craft fair or whatever because I have a food handler's license and all that stuff. I can sell that stuff locally, but as far as I'm not supposed to sell it online. So that's why I'm really kind of pushing the crochet stuff. I'd love to knit too. Um, but that's a skill for another day, I guess. All right, we've been on here about 40 minutes. I want to thank y'all for joining us today. We just wanted to catch everybody up. We're going to get a video out this week. Thank you for your understanding on last week. We were just too busy trying to figure out what we were going to do about that AC. Pray for rain for all of us, especially Texas. We're making the national news about being so dry. It's not as dry as it was when all the lakes went dry a few years ago, but it's still crunchy out there in the fires. One takes hold, they just go, and it's really hard to get them under control. But I wanted to thank all of you for joining us here today, and hopefully we will be back again next week, and we can talk about the new AC. That's the hope. Thank y'all so much for joining us today on Mama Z's Texas Kitchen, and we'll see you guys on the next video.